Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, YouTube. It's so good to be back with you again. We've missed you. It's been far too long, and it's so good to be back. And sorry for kind of staring off in the middle distance there. I missed my cue. So, the joys of doing this live. Anyway, my name's Dustin Brewer. I'm your branding and partnership manager for Zephyr Drone Simulator, a product of Little Arm Studios. And with me, as always, my brother from that other mother, Bo Van Buren. Bo, hey, how you doing, buddy?
Doing okay. A little sad we're going to be missing next week, but you know.
I am too. I'm sad we're missing. I'm not sad about why. I will be in the Great American Frontier. I'm headed to Alaska for a few days. I'm
Cool.
gonna go
Get
mine
some
for some
gold.
gold. I'm gonna go mine for some gold. That tickles a part of my tism I didn't even know I had. Gonna pan for some gold, fish for some halibut. It's gonna be. I need it. I'm ready for a little bit of a respite. It'll be good to see my family, so it's gonna be nice. Looking forward to it. But I will miss everyone here. I'll miss all your beautiful faces. Anyway, welcome in. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up button below the video. That helps us with the algorithm. Make sure you leave a comment if you don't mind. Ask questions. We are here to answer them. This is a learning stream more than anything. And hit the share button. Share us with a friend. Share us with a former friend. We're here to mend bridges, build relationships. I learned a new word for myself, Bo, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh.
Yeah. So you've heard me say that, like, oh, I'm a community builder. I like to bring people together. And community catalyst. I like that so much. That speaks to, like, my chemistry background, and it makes me so happy. So, yeah.
I don't have any claims to fame in that. I mean, maybe... I don't even think I can claim trendsetter.
I think you can. Reason being is that the drink craze of Strong Zero is gripping the Northeast by the throat, and that's because of you via me, because that has been the summer beverage.
I mean, it is a
Hashtag not
delight.
sponsored.
It is a delight. I will say,
So good.
also drink responsibly.
Of course.
But
Hey,
yeah.
Heath. Welcome in, Heath. I went gold panning in Alaska. It was wonderful. I'm so happy to hear a ringing endorsement of that. I'm very excited about it. I've collected rocks my whole life. Just really should have been an early indicator that I needed to be on more medication. But I'm so looking forward to this. The rest of my family is going to go look at a glacier, and I'm like, I'm going to go look for gold.
I've never collected rocks.
Oh, see? Yeah. Mine are not within arm's reach. They're very close.
I got a tiger's eye. I got a rose quartz. I got a jadeite.
Oh, speaking of jadeite, we have some very... There's no good segue from that into the stream. But the reason why we're all here is to learn and understand more about Zephyr Drone Simulator. What is it? What is it does? What do we do? And why are we even here?
What is it does? I ask myself that every day.
We've got several people watching. I assume some of them are our friends from over at Carousel. We've also got a bunch of new partners to welcome that I am so excited. It's been a really fun journey the last couple weeks, welcoming in some new partners, revitalizing some of our old partnerships. So I'm going to rattle those off real quick, if we're good. Okay. So first and foremost, Vets to Drones. So incredibly excited to have you guys moving in the right direction, helping to revamp the partnership thing, make sure the Sims offered to your membership. We're so thankful that you guys are letting us into your arena, because we are so incredibly supportive of our folks within the armed forces, veterans and active duty alike. So it's a real privilege to be a part of that program. So thanks. Wonderful to have you guys aboard. Big shout outs to UAV Coach and the Drone Girl. As always, we love working with you guys. It's awesome. So I've actually got a story that I pulled from one of those. So I'll read that here in a little bit during our news segment. Also, big shout outs to TCB Drone Solutions. Been working with Stephanie now for a couple weeks. So excited to kick off their program, working with a lot of historically black colleges and universities and helping to reduce friction and gateways and allow more people in the space. So incredibly proud to be working with your group, as well as AEM Drone Solutions. Uh, Jennifer and Alex, so nice to have you aboard. We're so excited to look at these touch points and see um, how we can help be effective in the areas in which you're enriching. And then our friends at Carousel also, like, so excited to be working with you. We have a really fun announcement that we'll get to here in a little bit, but we've got something really big coming up later in August. So that's going to be pretty rad. We'll talk about that more here in a minute.
We also, did we bring up Public Safety UAS?
I was just about to. And our friends at Public Safety UAS, Jake and David, getting those guys squared away and launching this new partnership with them and the work that they do within the public safety, education, and veteran space also. It's just fantastic. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for, trusting Zephyr Drone Simulator to help enhance your curriculums and ensure that pilots are getting the safe training that they need to become the best possible pilots that they can be.
For sure.
So yeah, that was a lot of me rambling for a long time. I'm exhausted now.
Little winded.
But you know what? Let's talk about what's in the news, shall we? Because it's a short segment this time.
Sure.
Because it's been kind of quiet on the news front. So we'll do
on anything that's nice and good to report on.
Anything that's worth talking about, in my opinion. So we'll do a quiet news intro. First up, this is from our friends over at Drone Life. Miriam McNabb, fantastic contributor. New license requirements for controlled drones and components. This is essentially China tightening drone export controls and adding new pressure to the U.S. supply chain. Guess what that's in, reaction to? Surprise, surprise. But yeah, apparently you can look this up. Announcement number 34 of 2026, issued by the China's Ministry of Commerce. But essentially, it's going to have a pretty big impact on U.S. drone manufacturers because of components, because, we went through such great lengths to essentially throttle imported drones like DJI, which a lot of third-party investigation groups that are U.S.-led, former military intelligence-led, cybersecurity-led, have all found that that's completely uncorroborated, and there are no safety gaps within that. So this is in direct relation to that. So again, it's one of those things when there's not a whole lot of forethought put into some of these measures that are taken, and it's done out of essentially corporate greed. This is what it leads to, is other issues. So unfortunately, something to very much keep an eye on moving forward with whatever components may be out there, could impact the drone industry as a whole now. So something to keep an eye on. I highly recommend going through, reading the article in its totality for yourself. Again, that's at Drone Life. Check that one out. That's an important one. And I feel like it's probably not going to get a lot of the press that it needs, but a little scary. Outside of that, something I found incredibly interesting. This is from Drone DJ, Ishvina Singh. This came out yesterday. 700 drones confiscated during the FIFA World Cup security operations. That's so many.
Well, I mean,
that's a lot.
Well, so like, what's like the average amount of like people in a stadium?
Well, in a stadium, I think is a little bit different than.
Were they just trying to fly it over and like look into the?
Exactly.
Okay, my thought was that like they were going into the stadium and trying to fly the drones from inside the stadium, which is obviously neither of them are good.
No, that would be, I think, far worse. These were folks getting close to essentially each FIFA stadium was a no-fly zone unless like you're part of Michael's group that was doing security for those places that had spotters and the correct training, or like the one in New York that was using the Skydio stuff. Um, I think it's interesting though that they're now releasing how many drones flew that closely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people had the best of intentions. There doesn't look to be a lot of nefarious stuff about this. They were all temporary flight restrictions, which is kind of surprising to me. I figured that most stadiums would be no-fly zones.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
For security reasons. So I'm wondering if they're going to use this as like a blueprint moving forward.
I also feel like a lot of stadiums are like kind of close to airports already.
That's actually a pretty fair point. Although I think 50% of the stadiums I know of that are close to them, most of stadiums are getting further and further away from the metropolitan areas.
Right. I mean, that's because they keep trying to make them bigger.
Exactly. I mean, Foxborough is 40 minutes south of Boston proper. They just moved the Bears stadium to Indiana, I guess. So, maybe something that they're trying to do to mitigate any kind of issues like that, although it makes traffic unbearable in those areas.
Yeah.
But, so that's really all the news that's fit to print. Everything else is just awful war and stuff, and that's just not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about pilot safety and pilot training. Sure. And I think it's important that every once in a while we take a full step back, and knowing who all we have in our audience today, I think it's a good idea for us to go back to some basics. And Bo is going to walk us through some of the essential elements of not just the sim itself, but also our learning management system. We talked a little bit on it a couple weeks ago, but we're going to kind of walk everybody through it a little bit more technically this time. Sound good to you, my man?
Yeah, I just trying to make sure I got everything squared away.
Oh, no, yeah, you're good. You're good.
I've transitioned us over to the live scene where the simulator is up.
I see it. Looks good.
Well, I mean, I think the bit rate's kind of a little jank, but, you know, what are you going to do? I'm not a technological guy. I am pretty much a chimpanzee pulling levers.
But you know what? You put enough of them in a room with some typewriters and you get much ado about nothing.
All right. So, that being said, quickly go over, you know, I guess the intro to the, I guess I'll do bare bones kind of thing. This is your, when you log in to Zephyr Simulator, you're going to launch from our launcher patcher, which will have your like password and stuff in there. And when you first come in here, it'll ask you what role you're flying under. If you're a student, you select the student role. If you are a teacher or a institution admin, you select that one. Over here, you'll see scenario, you'll see controller, settings, and exit. Avoid the exit button right now, obviously.
Yeah, stay in.
So settings, when you come in, it'll show you like your resolution, you know, all that, the classic chestnut. I put all of my volume down to 0 because I'm an old man. And everything is too loud for me, including just everything.
So everything?
Yeah. You can put your grass on whatever setting you want. I just leave it on high def, but I might actually drop it to basic for this. And it auto adjusts graphics and graphic quality. Yeah. So from there, you can navigate to our controller screen, which is where you can do your calibrations for your sticks. I personally fly with a PlayStation controller. It's just kind of what I'm used to, and it keeps me from wrecking on here. So that and like the practice I have. But the main reason that I like flying with the PlayStation controller is because unlike a traditional transmitter, the sticks don't snap back to dead 0 usually. They are usually like 0.1 or 0.2 degrees off. And it makes you have to make micro adjustments, which can lead to a little bit of perfectionism with positioning the drone. But if you are part of a training organization that prefers transmitters like that, we do support many controllers.
We do. Lots of controllers.
Also, it's because this is in my room already and I don't have to go grab it.
Even better.
So you can set your dead zones as well here, which affects, what kind of dead zone you have on your sticks. You can do a quick calibration, which, hold both sticks up and to the left, then bottom right. If you have any kind of issues with the Orca FPV controller specifically, sometimes, unless it's been patched out, we had a whole fix for it where you have to do your calibration or whatever. It's important to know that it's best to power on your controller before launching the simulator for best use.
That is good.
You can also mess with input curves. That's way too brainy for me, so I can get one of the devs to explain how this works if you're interested at some other point. But yeah, a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
You can map your sticks to whatever. You can map your sticks to whichever setup you'd like, although we have ours set on the default transmitter controls. But for some folks that like to fly mode 2, you can switch your sticks around and you can fly that way. At this point, I fly just as good both, so I just leave it alone.
Nice.
Originally, though, I did fly mode 2 because of mostly flying drones in games like Call of Duty.
Sure.
So that brings us to our screen here with our scenarios. Each scenario has its own set of courses called modules. We'll go into the tutorial real quick so you can kind of see. This is going to be our basic information. So like the tutorial will teach you all of your terminology, like liftoff and landing and pitch and yaw, and all of the controls and stuff that you use inside of the simulator. So we'll load up here, and you'll see these are the 4 modules that take place in this scenario. So drone power and basic control, guiding the drone, flight modes and control modes, camera controls, and objectives. So I'll select the module. In this one, you only get the choice of the Phantom 4. No other option.
Enjoy.
Yeah. So you'll see here. Welcome to the Zephyr tutorial. Let's start by powering on your drone. And you can't really see all of the instructions because they're behind Dustin's head. But what it says up there in that little window is press the keys or move the sticks into the positions below and hold them there for 2 seconds. So put our sticks there, props turn on, recenter the sticks. So then we have a little infographic on there where the controller shows what you need to do with the controller itself. You'll also see on the bottom right hand corner there my camera view. Currently my main screen is the view from my pilot. So it says good. Let's try changing our altitude, or the altitude of our drone. Press up on the left stick or W on the keyboard or to increase the throttle and make the drone gain altitude. You'll see there's a pink block up there. So in Zephyr, pink blocks you just go and touch. If it's a teal or blue one, you have to sit in it for a while.
That's really good to know.
Next, let's cover the basics of controlling our drone. So now it's explaining what rotation is. So rotation around the up and down axis of the drone is called yaw. So now it's going to show me how to do yaw. And what it wants me to do is spin the drone around 3 times. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. So now it's explaining what pitch is. So rotation around the left to right axis is known as pitch. So what it wants me to do is up or down on the right stick. So flying forward, boom. Flying backward, boom. Most flight modes, this is a little knowledge tidbit that it gives you. In most flight modes, the drone will move relative to the direction it is facing, not the way the user is facing. If the operator changes the pitch, the drone will move forward or backward relative to itself, as seen to the right.
That's a really good way of putting that. I never really figured out, or never really thought about the process of explaining it's going to move forward and backward based on where it's pointed.
Yeah, so interesting point of this is in this mode, you can't strafe with the drone. So they remove this movement to make you use the changing of directions manually with the left stick. and then they do the opposite when we go into the next module, which messes up a lot of people because it wants you to strafe.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense, though. I mean, get good with one thing, and then get good with the other.
Yeah. Very, very planned out, very methodical.
Mm-hmm. Well, very purposeful.
Yeah, rotation around the forward and back, forward to backward axis is known as roll, and then it shows on here, boom, boom, and now it won't let me fly forward with anything that I do, or gain altitude or lose altitude. So
I see.
I have a cheat code for this. Not that one. It's this next one. In most flight modes, the drone will move relative to the direction it's facing, not the way the user is facing. So this won't let me fly forward or back either. So what I do is I look at this wall and line myself up with that basketball court line there. And then I come over until I see one directly in front of me. And then I rotate my drone back to where it is even with the line in front. And then I strafe.
Smart.
So it says, good, you now understand the basics of piloting a drone. Please spend some time trying out the full range of controls. And then we give you a free fly in the gym. So you can kind of do whatever.
I think that's really cool, though, because, like, how many times have we seen folks that are completely... ignorance kind of a strong word, but they have no experience flying a drone at all. Like, this is their first time picking up a stick and flying a drone, and being able to take it literally to its very basics. It demystifies terminology, it demystifies mechanics, and allows the user to start operating a drone in a safe, controlled environment where literally the worst possible thing that could happen is that the drone, the fake drone crashes and you have to start over.
Yep. And like one of the best things to do immediately off rip is run it into something. In the simulator. Absolutely. In the simulator.
Yes, in the sim. I have said that before to folks. Oh, hey, Alex, welcome in.
Because like you said, you know, wrecking it is the worst thing that can happen in the simulator. So get it out of the way and then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
It reduces a ton of anxiety. I literally watched a guy's shoulders go from up in his ears and they dropped once that happened. He's like, oh, that's the worst that can happen within your simulator? It's like, absolutely. That is the worst that could happen. And it removes that mental block and allows people to really start taking control of the controls. So, and it's neat to see.
The other interesting thing that Zephyr does, and, you know, we kind of loosely go over this usually in some of the calls that we're in, we record a lot of data. As you can see here, this is the after flight report for the tutorial of the drone power and basic control. I got an A+, 500. You know, it's one of those things where, like, Zephyr scores things out from 0 to 500, and the letter grade changes depending, obviously, like any kind of anything else. But that's because we take a number of, we take a number of factors into account. So, like, line of sight violation, much to the chagrin of the teenagers at the summer camp that we went to, altitude violations as well, and like crashes and resets will remove points from your score as well. So we'll take you too long, and like we're generally pretty, I guess, lax on the timing, because for this module specifically, if I click onto this right here, it'll show that the time elapsed was 4 minutes and 20 seconds. The target time was 10 minutes or under, and then I got 100%. But if I'd gone over time, I would have lost points. And I think it does it based off of percentage. So, like, same thing with, like, the line of sight violations. Like, so it takes a certain percentage of the number of points you have left, and then it keeps going down until you eventually have nothing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In fact, one of the teenagers at the camp made it a point to get the most line of sight violations that they could.
That's awesome.
She ended up with like 250 line of sight violations, and her score was 0.
Yeah. So. Sometimes you have to try to fail.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about the camp, is that they push things. that
Sure.
that we don't normally think about, I guess. But it was very fascinating.
That's fantastic.
It was really cool to see her go from like not engaged at all to like super invested.
Sure.
So from
Absolutely.
the reporting tab, and like part of the whole reason I brought that up was because we have a learning management system that comes with the enterprise version of the software, which will allow you to pull up reports for specific pilots. You can look at all of the data that you want. You can make courses. You can assign assignments. You can, hold your pilots accountable to get their sim hours, done. And you can actually see, I think we get granular down to like the second.
Exceedingly granular. And with our integration with our partners at Air Data, it can also aggregate real flight along with simulated flight.
That
so
is
you get
true.
an overall picture of pilot development over time, both in the sim and outside the sim.
So, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I get the basics. I finished all the normal stuff. So then, what next? So, oftentimes at the beginning of, the Sims creation, we, been asked about, like the flow that we recommend and stuff like that. And like, ultimately, none of us are like teachers.
Sure.
Or like pilot instructors. We take the information that we think is useful or that we hear is useful from the organizations and partners that we have, and we turn that into training. So like we have the people who are actually, trying to grade people on this stuff like NIST or like APSA, partner up with us. We have people from their groups, specifically involved in the development of the things so that we get everything correct. Like, I know that search and rescue is a labor of love between Kyle and a lot of the dev team. As far as like research that went into it, and then like the love and care that was put into like developing the thermal imaging that's in there. Because like we could have just done what most creators like this do, which is like we could have gone into the Unity asset store, picked up a thermal thing for like a video game where it makes everything blue except for the thing that you want to look at. It'll be highlighted bright orange, which it just isn't how thermal works. So
right.
in our constant pursuit of reality, or as realism as we can get,
sure,
we have decided to make it bespoke. So we have Dane on our team, genius, absolutely tremendous guy. Big shout outs to Dane.
Huge shout out, Rover Catholic.
Who's I'm both sad and happy I missed that.
I'm so sad you missed that.
But yeah, so he's building it completely from the ground up. It's tremendous to look at.
We can show it off if you like. I think
yeah, sure.
worth showing the people.
Wondering if one of these, I know the thermal was a little bit grainy on.
I think most of that has been patched in this last, and that's another thing too. If you're ever wondering about updates, patch notes, our wiki that you can find under the resources tab on our website is fantastic for looking at most recent updates, big updates, hot fixes, system requirements, case studies. All of that can be found within our wiki. It is our most valuable resource, and it is a fantastic tool on learning more about staying up to date with the sim, and then keeping your equipment, your computer, your controllers, everything else as up to date. Also, like you can see from the image that we have a pretty wide variety of drones available, but anything that we do add as far as modules, scenarios, or drones is also within our updates in the wiki.
All right, so I'm gonna fly the M30.
Cool.
For no particular reason.
Why not?
So I'm going to power my props on, and I'm going to lift off. Then I am going to see the teal box there. I'm going to hit T, and then you can see in thermal vision here. Now, another cool thing that you can see that we got rid of is before there was a lot of pretty intense ghosting of the thermal. You should experience some ghosting, but too much of it is not good, obviously.
That looks really, really good.
Once again, completely built from the ground up.
Yep. This is all ours.
This is one of my favorite words, bespoke.
Mm-hmm. And this is just the iron bow setting. We also have a whole list of settings available for white hot, black hot, night vision, IR. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot here. It's really cool.
Uh-oh. I seem to have found a canoe.
Oh, yeah?
Or a kayak.
What could it mean?
Means that the kayaker probably flipped trying to come down that waterfall there.
Probably. Possibility.
So, in this module, since we're already in here, you're trying to find a missing person inside of this this biome by finding clues based off of techniques that search and rescue folks use in practice. So, I can see that, you know, the canoe or kayak flipped over. Generally speaking, when that kind of thing happens and you're either knocked unconscious or like you're getting carried by strong rapids, you're going to keep going down the way the water's going, right? So if we follow the stream follow the stream down until we get to an open beach.
Speaking of stream, make sure you share this one and subscribe. Shameless plug.
Oh, that looks like something that I should check out.
It does indeed.
So if we come up here, come down, you can see that that's a paddle. And a hiking pole, it looks like. So,
it does indeed.
We get up closer down. Well,
and it has a list of objectives there on the left as well.
Mm-hmm. It's covered up by you right now, but
it's covered up by my gigantic melon.
So, something that some people do if they have any kind of, you know, not any kind of knowledge, but like, if I was someone trying to find a missing kayaker and I see the oar pointed in a specific direction, I would think I need to head that way. Or maybe they're letting us know that that's where they went. So, I'm going to climb until I am over the trees, which I appear to be. And now I'm going to go this way. And, you know, one of the things that the campers found out pretty quick is that while, yes, you can fly up the trail, when you do that, you're limiting the vision of the drone to where you can only see like maybe 10 feet. But like with this view, if I climb up a little bit higher, I got like several yards that I can see down.
Definitely. Huge field of view. How cool. Now, what does this look like in thermal?
So this is what it looks like in thermal. And I actually see something down here that's kind of sticking out. Those look like mushrooms, but is that like a rock? So I'm going to turn my thermal off and come down and see if I can look at this. I don't have any real good entry points for this, but you always want to be careful when you're flying near trees because one, wind can move them and stuff like that. And that does appear, that does appear to just be a rock.
A little bit of a red herring there.
So, oh, actually, I found the missing kayaker.
Oh, sure enough.
No stone unturned.
That's right.
Why are you kayaking in super tight jeans and pumps? Never know. But
you never know who you're gonna see. You gotta dress to impress.
It's like that fellow when we were doing the ATVs in Vegas. He was just like, I've seen people come out in cocktail dresses and stilettos to ride four-wheelers. Sure. And I was like, that's now intense.
To be fair, I did see that this week they are implementing a couple new designs for man and woman, different different outfits.
I just like picking on them while I can.
I think when we pick this one asset up in particular, though, I kind of like it. It's like, all right, I get it.
So that's pretty much, those are like, we have free flights on almost every, I'm pretty sure every module except for, I think, APSA. But APSA, you're there for a specific reason.
Sure.
So you have.
So,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, the big reason that we're going through some of these basics, and this is kind of the big announcement. But the biggest reason that we're working with Carasoft on this and talking about some of the basics of the system and why it's important for pilot development is we are doing a webinar. Mm-hmm. We're doing a webinar with our friends at Carasoft on August 26th from, where did it go? Here it is. From 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be 1 hour. It is a CPE credit eligible event. So you will be able to get your continuing education credit there. But essentially, we will be going over the finer points of avoiding costly mistakes with better pilot training. There have been a bevy of new case studies released by insurance companies, as well as other industry leaders in both energy, public safety, things of this arena about how better pilot training, especially at the workforce level, or workforce training level, or education level, have led to wider gaps in loss for businesses, whether that's time loss due to training limitations, time loss to damaged equipment because of crashes, and the ability to maximize efficiency by having pilots who are better trained because of better curriculums like what is used through our friends at Pilot Institute or USI and our simulator, which they all happily promote, which is really cool. Again, huge shout outs to our partners like Pilot Institute, USI, UAV Coach for having these curriculum options and including us in their packages as well. But this will be, we'll show our case studies from Clemson and Texas DPS. We will talk about pilot development and our learning management system, the cost savings behind it, and some insurance data going from 2020 to 2024 is really when we started to see that kind of arc and that bell curve of savings for companies. Use case for industry specific sectors, again, public safety, education, energy and utility, agriculture. Pilot confidence and training timelines, which is sort of my big passion behind a lot of this. And then we'll have a Q&A session, much like what we did when we were in Houston for the Drone and Robotics Symposium. So if you are a safety program manager, flight operations manager, working in survey, GIS, UAV teams, operations manager, really any kind, highly recommend that you use the link in the description. Sign up, save your seat. It's not super limited, but we want to make sure we can get as many people involved as possible. We're hoping for at least a couple hundred, so that would be really great. I'd love to talk to any and everybody. And if you think this might be a fit for your crew, your team, your company, whatever, attend for free and listen to me prattle on for a whole hour about how awesome Zephyr is, because it is, because this is one of the easiest things I've ever gotten to promote because of the work and commitment and just the absolute purposefulness put behind this product by our development team, our C-suite, the passion of our sales and marketing team. So come hang out with us. August 26th, 1 p.m. Like I said, the link's in the description. Will be Eastern. That's correct. I'll be sending the link out to our current users as well. The fine folks at Carasoft, thank you so much for helping us put this together. Carly, Lily, Husna, the whole group. Just love y'all to death. I'm excited to talk to you guys here in a little bit about some more opportunities after we get done streaming. So that's pretty much what we have to show folks is this is how it works. This is how easy it can be to start training your pilots, and the savings add up. Time matters,
and it's easily scalable for sure. So that's one of the other big points.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. I mean, you only need so many instructors and admin when you can open up so many seats to your group, whether it's by student or by people in your department that just need extra training. And then you don't have to worry about buying a whole bunch of really expensive drones or worrying about the weather being crappy, because you can change the weather within the sim, which is really cool.
It's true.
Yeah, for sure. Did I miss anything, Bo? I feel
No,
like I missed
I feel like we have talked for a full 45 minutes.
We did it, buddy. It's been an absolute pleasure to clue people in about how cool this product is. And I am so excited to be able to share that with a large group in a webinar and really show the meat and potatoes behind like what it means to engage in this training and save your company money and time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, most of my not knowledge, but like most of the stories that I can tell about the simulator sound too sales pitchy. So
I get it. The same, because it almost seems like bombastic whenever you talk about.
Well, I mean, it's like you talk about the APSA thing, and it's like I've talked about it multiple times on the stream, but it's like, I just it doesn't feel. It feels like I'm just being like, and that's when I found $1 million on the ground because of Zephyr Drone Simulator,
Right.
But the proof is there.
Too good to be true.
The proof is there. We have very good data that shows the change in pilot aptitude from even just a week of flying in the simulator. Like some of our pilots from that summer camp improved over 200%, which is
crazy.
Insane.
It is insane. These kids that came in and flew, and in a week's time, looking at their percent improvement, just incredible. It blew my mind.
That's straight up just raw data, man. Like I have spreadsheets full of just numbers that Josh put together, but it's one of those
big
things.
Shout outs to Josh there.
But
that's awesome. Yeah, we'll be sharing that too in our socials. If you're not signed up for our socials, follow us here on YouTube, follow us on LinkedIn. Those are the two biggest ones. We're still on Legacy, but really, it's Instagram. Who cares? But these other ones we update. We keep them updated with good quality information. And if you ever have questions about any of this stuff, or there's something in the sim or that's not in the sim that you'd like to see,
hit us up on socials. Yeah, like you're either talking to Dustin or me.
Yeah,
usually.
Exactly. I'm your guy. Yeah, and he's your guy. We are your guys.
We're that guy, pal.
The right way. Am I pointing the right way?
You are. We're that guy, pal.
Okay. For sure. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in.
Real quick.
Send us your questions.
We will not be streaming next week.
Correct.
Because Dustin's going to be in Alaska, and it feels wrong to do this without him. What are you going to do?
You'd be fine.
I mean, I know I'd be fine. I've done streaming and stuff, but like,
of course,
I don't want to. The show is us. So
fair. That's very fair. But yes, no stream next week. Then we'll hit the ground running the week after, and then we have our webinar shortly after that. So keep tuning in. We appreciate you. It's always cool to see more subscribers. That number go up. So make sure you're continuing to share it. And
if you're going to be at CUAV, holla at you boys.
That's true. We will be there in Las Vegas. Myself, Bo, Brandon, and Parker. At our great big booth at CUAV in the Caesars
Forum
area, is that right? Caesars Forum.
That is what it's called. Caesars Forum. Yes.
Cesar Palace. It's behind the Flamingo. But yeah, we'll be there. September 1st through the 3rd, I believe.
Yep.
Is that correct? Yeah. So come see us there. If you'd like to be a partner, come talk to me. If you want to have the sim in your industry, come talk to us.
If you speak Japanese, come talk to me so I can practice.
That's true. Yeah, Bo's made so many friends. it's adorable.
But yeah, so
I love it so much.
We love you guys. Be good to each other. We're gonna be. I mean, we're dipping. There's no way around it. But
there's no good way to segue to it. We got to go. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.